Mira and Harper Audio present Sister Dear by Hannah Mary McKinnon, performed by Ezzo. If you cannot get rid of the family skeleton, you may as well make it dance. George Bernard Shaw. Chapter 1. The police didn't believe me. The jury wouldn't have either if I'd gone on trial, and most definitely not the judge. My attorney had more than a few reservations about my story. Ms. Allerton hadn't said as much. She didn't need to. I saw it in her eyes, could tell by the way she shuffled and reshuffled her papers, as if doing so might shake my lies clean off the pages, leaving only the truth behind in her inky royal blue swirls. After our first meeting, I'd concluded she must have known early on, before she shook my hand with her icy fingers, that I was a liar. Before she'd walked into the room in shiny 4-inch heels, she'd no doubt decided she'd heard my excuses, or a variation thereof, from countless clients already. I was yet another person claiming to be innocent. Another criminal who'd remained adamant they'd done nothing wrong. It wasn't their fault, honest. Despite the overwhelming amount of evidence to the contrary, a wall of impending doom surrounding me. And still, at the time I believed the only reason Miss Allerton had taken on my case pro bono was because of the amount of publicity it gave her firm. Reducing my sentence, for there would be one, would amplify her legacy as a hotshot lawyer. I'd accepted her help. There was no other option. I needed her knowledge, her expertise, saw her as my final hope. I now know her motivations were something else I'd miscalculated. All hope extinguished. Game over. If I'm being fair, the judgments Miss Allerton and other people had made about me weren't completely wrong. I had told lies, some anyway. While that stripped away part of my claim to innocence, it didn't mean I was entirely guilty. Not of the things everybody said I'd done. Things I'd had no choice but to confess to, despite that being my biggest lie of all. But I'll tell you the truth. The whole truth and nothing but. I'll start at the beginning and share everything that happened, every last detail leading up to one fateful night. The night someone died because of me. The night I lost you too. I won't expect your forgiveness. Our relationship, or lack thereof, will have gone way beyond that point. No. All I can hope for is that my side of the story will one day help you understand why I did the things I did, and why I have to do the things I've not yet done. Chapter 2. 15 months earlier. My heels dragged as my legs took shorter steps than usual, an unmistakable sign my feet weren't heading in a direction I wanted to go. The hems of my old frayed jeans dragged on the sidewalk, soaking up the gray slush, the final vestige of the snow dusting most of Maine had received earlier that Friday afternoon, dumping the majority of it right on top of Portland. The freezing, soggy fabric of my pants had turned into frozen fingers snatching at my ankles, and I cursed myself twice. Once for not believing the weatherman when he said snow would hit mid-October, and again because I'd donned comfy sneakers as a pathetic sign of protest. At almost 30 and an East Coast native, I really should have known better. While my heart protested, my brain made me quicken my pace toward Monroe Hospice. I tried hard not to imagine what Dad might look like today. If I did, I feared I'd turn around, scuttle home to my little apartment, which had become more of a refuge since his diagnosis. Never mind my pathetic and humble abode's dire need for odorless carpets, proper windows to keep out the draft, and paint that didn't come off the walls in banana peel strips. Despite its state, I longed to be at home, close the curtains, pull on 2 sweaters.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?